Namaskar children. Welcome to this lesson in which you will be learning about linear inequalities. You've already dealt with linear equations wherein you solve an equation and you get one definite answer. Or at times when you're dealing with simultaneous equations, you get two answers in the form of the values of x and y. In this lesson, you will be learning the concept of linear inequalities and applying the same. Let's have a look at what is an inequality. When we think of an equality, as I mentioned, it's a definite value that gives you the answer for the question. If it's an inequality, the difference is you need to think in terms of a range of values. So rather than one single answer or rather than only one element being in the solution set, it's going to be a range of values. Like for example, if we think of an algebraic relation wherein the value lies between a certain lower limit and a certain upper limit, then what we are talking about is an inequality. For say here, the value of x lies between 55 and 75. These are certain basic symbols that you need to be aware of in the chapter of inequality. Less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. Not that you are new to these symbols, you are aware of these symbols, you've used them earlier, but in this unit you will be learning to put them into perspective with linear inequalities. Alright, so let's have a look at this example. Over here, what we get to see is a number line and 0 lies at the center of the line. We have an array of positive values and there is an array of negative values as well. So for say if I choose a particular value, say it's 2, then all the numbers which are bigger than 2 lie to the right of the number line and all the numbers which are less than 2 lie to the left of the line. There's a mistake here. This value should be any number which is less than 2. So all such values will lie to the left. So the same if it were to be represented in a mathematical expression, then it becomes x less than 2. So this means I'm talking about this red color line which shows the range of all the values which are less than 2. Alright, now if I were to focus on the other side of the number line, and as I said, the red color line indicates the solution. So over here, we've taken into consideration all the real numbers which are greater than -2 because the circle is made at -2. So that's the main value that we are considering. And thereafter, we look into the direction. So this is basically all the values which are greater than -2. And a point to be noted over here is we are talking about real numbers. So which means decimal values, fractions, all numbers which fall within this range are included in the solution set. Another important thing to be noticed over here is we use an empty circle. Over here, it's an empty circle. You will, in the next slide, see the difference between an empty circle and a hollow circle. An empty circle entails that the value at that point is not included in the solution set. So if this is what we are talking about in this perspective, the value -2 is not included in the inequality. And rightly so, because the inequality says x is all the values which are greater than -2. So which means -2 is not included in the inequality. Alright, so here is where the difference is. This time we have a colored circle, a circle which in mathematical terms is also referred to as a solid circle. So as I said, the red line is the inequality or is the representation of the inequality on the number line. So it's a solid circle here and these values are all those values which are going to be less than the number 1. So we first look at the number which is plugged in on the number line, which is number 1. Secondly, we know it's a solid circle. The fact that it's a solid circle tells us that the number 1 is also included in the solution set. It does fall in the range of values. Hence the difference between the symbol. Here we're talking about all the values of x which are less than or equal to 1. So the value of 1 is also included in the solution set. Another example, here again the value at which the number line points is a -3 and this time we are talking about all the values which are greater than or equal to minus 3. I reiterate, the fact that it's a solid circle over here tells us that the value minus 3 is also included in the solution set, and hence the answer is x is greater than equal to minus 3. So it could be a range of values, any range of values which are greater than or maybe even equal to minus 3. Alright, so this is reiterating the most important concept of linear inequality. Some of the dots are solid, whereas some are not. A solid dot, as I said, indicates that the value at that point is included in the solution set, whereas a hollow dot or a hollow circle indicates that the value at that point is not included. Hence, the inequality represented by this number line is x less than 2, with the value 2 not included, and here it is all the values of x which are less than or equal to a minus 1. So that's the less than or equal to 1. So that's the 1, and all these range of values with 1 also being included in the set. Alright, so let's look at a real life example. Sue ran a 2K race in 8 minutes. So he was able to complete a distance of 2 kilometers in a span of 8 minutes. Write an inequality to describe the average speeds of runners who were faster than Sue. And then we also have to graph the inequality. This is one formula that you're all aware of. Average speed is given by distance over time. So talking particularly about Sue's speed, his speed must have been 2 over 8 because he's managed to cover a distance of 2 kilometers in a span of 8 minutes. So that's 2 kilometers per minute. The units are not very important in this question because what we are looking at is the values rather than the units. The question wants us to give the average speed, or rather describe the average speed of all runners who were faster than Sue. So needless to say, whatever be the answer, all these speeds have to be greater than the speed of Sue. So which means the inequality that we arrive at is x is greater than 1 over 4. Alright, as for solving an inequality is concerned, it is pretty much similar to the way you solve a linear equation. So I would go to the extent of saying that when you have to solve an inequality, treat it like an equality and the difference will come at the last stage. For say, if this were given to you as an equality and it were x minus 3 equal 5, you know all you do is take the minus 3 onto the other side and that gives us a value x is equal to 8. So what we do is we do not write the equality sign, rather we write the sign less than because that is what the question says. So I repeat what I said, solving an inequality is really simple. Just follow the same rules as you do for solving an equality. Let's look at another example. If x plus 6 is greater than or equal to 10, so again 6 goes onto the other side and we keep the same symbol of inequality which was there in the question. So x is greater than or equal to 4. Alright, so here we need to solve this and graph this further. So try this on your own. X will of course have values which are greater than or equal to a minus 2. So plug in the value minus 2 and remember when the value is included, it's going to be a solid circle. But if the value is not included, it becomes a hollow circle. So try this as an example to solve on your own. Another one for you. Here we have minus 2 is greater than n minus 4. Now one point which you need to keep in mind when you're trying to solve such equations is try and keep the sign of the variable as positive. Avoid a negative coefficient for the variable. It will make it simpler for you to arrive at the answer and further graph the solution also. So this is another question that you should try and work out on your own. Here's another example. If half of x is greater than 3, all we need to do is cross multiply, take the 2 onto the other side, and the final answer is x is greater than 6. I'm sure this is not difficult because you've dealt with even more difficult and complex linear equations. So I repeat what I said, just solve them like the way you would solve a linear equation. And remember to keep the final sign of equality. Another one, if 3x is less than or equal to 9, then x is less than or equal to 3. It wouldn't be very difficult to graph this on a number line also. All right, practice is what keeps us going, and that is the most important part of learning. So what follows next is a set of questions which you need to work out on your own. So solve these 4 questions, represent them on a number line, and the answers are following so that you can check it. There you go. After you've completed the questions on your own, you can cross-check with these answers. Thank you very much for watching this video, and do follow this up with the next video which deals with some specific questions from your textbook. Thank you.